Hello, my peeps, and welcome to Why Do We Do Every Time I Start and then I instantly forget. Day 17 of 25 days to an organized craft room. I'm going to get over there in a minute and show you that from yesterday. But I will tell you that in the process of doing yesterday's thing, I had already told you about my little system I have for like keeping shapes that I have pre-cut. And it always bothered me. I had the white and the vanilla in stamp cases. I knew I had one more of these containers somewhere, and I found it in the fall when I was doing something, and I put it somewhere, and then I was like, oh my God, where did I put that other case? So yesterday I went looking for something else. This is how it always works. Went looking for something else, and I found this case. So then once I came in, I thought, you know what? These are the two biggest ones, like the most common ones. So I moved all the white into here. Those other cases, I don't like to have them open on my desk because they don't lay flat and I tend to spill stuff a lot. So I love these containers way better. So I have now found it. So I'm very excited that this is now finally how it's supposed to be. And the case is in the other room. But so when I go to a thing, I can just pop all of these in the carry case, take them with me. And then when I'm here, I don't really have a system. White tends to be on top, but like if I needed a purple one, I just grab the purple. Oops, totally went off there. I just grab the purple one out, which is easier to do with two hands. Use the purple one and it goes back on top and whatever, right? So I did manage to do that yesterday, which was very exciting. Now, going back to where we were, yesterday I had things stacked on top. I don't like when I have to pick something up and like move something to get to something. I like to be able to grab things one-handed. So all I did was, because of how I clean my desk, I was able to move the little caddy I had here that had the stuff for the cut and emboss machine to right beside the cut and emboss machine. I'll quit spinning the camera around. And then, so I just pushed this over. So I was able to put my 6x6 next to my 12x12 now. So that just gave me more space. And at first I thought I really should, instead of making more, I really should like weed it out. But some of these were sort of newer categories that I was doing and things that I wanted to keep. And I've been trying to keep it. I've been pushing them other places because I don't want to get rid of them. So in the end, I went, no, it's probably better just to have a better system. Now, they were all written in green pen before, you may have noticed, this one. And I don't know where that green marker is anymore. So the couple new ones that I put had this dark black. And I didn't like how a few of them really stood out and the rest of them, from like sitting at my desk, you can't really read the green. So I had to go and write over top of all of the other ones so they would all be dark. So they're all very easy to read now. And then this is what I have for like extra stamp cases. I don't usually have a ton, and I usually use them for stuff like this. So they're just kind of stacked on the end, which I'm good with. I don't think I mentioned this yesterday. So I used our clear cases. And when you buy the ephemera, as soon as you open it once, like there we go. In the original packaging, it comes cellophane wrapped, right? Well, as soon as you open it once, good luck getting those things back in. And the little bits and pieces start to come out. So what I found is I take one of these stamp cases. They're the perfect size to fit the full sheets and all the little bits and pieces. And then I just take this label, which I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this one-handed without spilling everything everywhere. So just one second. I take the label and I cut it out of the cellophane so that it's easy and it's just one little label. And then catching on the little closure part. There we go. And then if you take your stamp case and you kind of hyperextend it like this, you just kind of bend it, right? There we go. You just kind of bend it. It lifts up the plastic sheeting, and then I just slide the label in between. And as soon as you close it back up again, it just sort of holds it in place there. So now when I go to sell it, I can just pop that back out and throw it in the cellophane. If there's any left, and I'm throwing it in my sale. But if not, it tells me what it is. I did write the name on the side just because it's easier to see, but this way I have colors and all the other information that's on there. And I'll put that away when I'm done. And I did go through and check to see some of the ephemera. So some of them are current and some of them, let me see, the gold ones. So the gold ones, these ones are discontinued now. But I have like a ton of them. But they're also really good for classes and people who like to do gold. I don't drag all my heat embossing stuff to classes with me. So it's better. So this is this end there's a bit of mixing and matching. And then the rest of this stuff, most of it is from like retired dies and stuff. But there's a few things in there that are current. But it's my bits and pieces section. Okay, so on to day 17, I think I said. And what we're doing today. And that would be kits. So kits can get overwhelming. They can be all over the place. So in my case, I just have one little shelf. And I still haven't decided. It's kind of funny. I guess I'll have to decide in the next couple of days. So this is the box from the Advent Calendar kit, which I have had so much fun with. And I'm doing, this is like a 4-week thing we're doing. I have like 3 projects per week, and we're doing them, and there's a PDF, and it was all good. It's for people who bought the Advent Calendar and then in January wanted something to do with it. Now, I haven't decided, do I have a use for this box? And it's one of those things, I'm like, I got to get over myself and go, yes, just because it's a nice box and it's a pretty box, do I need to keep it? So I will decide on that. But right now, it's just there. So this is the most I can keep in here. I tend to keep the most current kits, or if there's ones that I was keeping and I want to use. At a certain point, I will decide. I used to do classes where we used the kits, so I would take all the kits and they would get used a lot faster. But now I'm more so, like, I'll order the kit. Let's just say, what's underneath there? This is not laying flat. So I have to do something with this. This is the leftovers from this kit, which I loved, but I've only got a few pieces left. So it needs to go in a bag and get filed. This will actually probably end up going in the fall bits and kits thing there, because it's all like little pieces left. But I need to do that so that if I pull something out, I don't accidentally pull that all over the floor. But I could tell because it wasn't sitting straight. The newest ones that come out, and I do tend to write on the end of them just so they're easier, but sometimes I don't. Here's one of the things I'm taking with me on my trip. It's all the 3 other languages other than English that come in the kits from the Christmas stuff that I have a ton of, and I just can't throw them away. I give them to people here if they need them, but not everybody does. And then I do have one box in here. I think it's this one. Yeah. Where I have samples from just tons of the kits. So they do make good inspiration, but it's also, instead of having the whole kit here, oops. I was debating, do I drop my phone or do I drop this box of cards? Luckily, I managed to drop neither. But I like to have it, so if somebody wanted to see like a sample of the kit, I could take the sample out of here without necessarily having the whole kit. Because some of them, I would buy the new kit, we'd use them at our class, the kit would get so picked over it was like next to nothing left. But I have the samples because the kit is still available. So I will usually go through once or twice a year and pull out ones in there that are no longer available, because it's great to have the sample, but if you can't buy the kit anymore, it doesn't really matter. So today we're going to deal with kits. I only have one little section of kits. If you have kits all over the place, or you make your own kits and you have leftovers, just same rule as always. Find a way to organize your kits. And I'm going to go back here so you can see it's just like a little bit of space. My light keeps falling down on that's my photo center above. I got to do a little tweaking in there, but so yeah, figure out whatever system is going to work for you, whatever limit on space you have, and let's tackle those kits. Bye.